Today I'm choosing to make this video because I know a lot of you are worried about me. If you follow me on Instagram or if you follow me in the community forum, I know that I have alluded to feeling sad or feeling upset, and I know I don't owe anyone an explanation for personal things happening in my life, but I also don't want to instill any fear into any of you. I don't want you guys to worry about me, and honestly, I know a lot of people have gone through something similar or maybe are currently going through something, so I'm just going to try to talk through my feelings. The past couple of days have been really difficult for me. I thought about filming this video yesterday because I have a new video coming out with a brand in a couple of days, and I thought it would be weird if I released this video that had been shot previously and I didn't address if I was okay. And yeah, I just I don't want to make anyone upset, and I also I don't know, these things are really hard to talk about, so I'm going to try my best. On Nick's birthday, which was this past Monday, I found out that my grief is so strange because one minute you feel super collected, like right before I picked up the camera to film, I felt completely in control of my emotions and I felt very strong and I felt positive, and then you just get like these waves of extreme emotions and sadness. It feels really weird to just kind of break news like this, especially because I know other people watching don't have the same personal attachment or anything, but on Monday night, I received a text message from one of my friends from high school who I'm still in touch with, that a very close friend of ours had overdosed. I know it's really hard to watch people cry sometimes because it really evokes that feeling that you want to also cry, but so I found out that my friend passed away. Inevitably, as we get older, this is unfortunately something that happens, you know. Fuck. I mean, all of it's hard. Death is so difficult for us to process and like comprehend. I know that's definitely the case for me and for most people that I know. And everybody grieves differently. Like, there's different stages of grieving and everyone's going to experience it in a different way. I know that some people go through denial, which is certainly something that I've experienced. A lot of people will go through phases of feeling angry and feeling very depressed before they are able to like recover and kind of bounce back and just get over it. And in many cases, like, death is something that you will never fully get over. It's a lot easier, I think, to deal with death when it's from natural causes or a process of aging, or at least when it's more expected. And I don't want to make like blanket statements, you know, that's I guess just my own personal opinion, but when you lose somebody to something that was preventable or something that maybe could have been solved, like addiction, like a drug overdose, it's like you can't ever fully get closure from it. I fucking hate drugs. I've lost way too many people that I care about to drug overdose, and I feel so angry that our culture like glamorizes and makes hard drugs look in some way appealing, because they fucking suck. And if you have personally lost anyone to this, then you probably understand. I never have struggled with addiction, so I cannot even begin to relate. I definitely have people in my life that have, including my boyfriend, and I feel so proud of him for overcoming that chapter of his life, even though, you know, it's something that will probably inherently be with him forever. It's not like you're cured, but it like destroys people. I'm trying really hard not to get upset. When I read the text message on Monday, it really felt like I felt like I had been like stabbed. And I've definitely been through loss, and I've definitely experienced death in my life, but this was just like, it fucking sucks. I just feel like I immediately kind of detached from the real world. I felt so depersonalized. I'm just like going through all of these things in my head like, this isn't real. And you just think about everything that you would have done like differently, everything you would have changed. I know it's like really common, just everything that you wish you could go back and say or do. It's so fucked up. Like, I hate to say this, but my friend's name was Rachel. I think she was somebody who really struggled not just with addiction, but also with life. And I think for some people, even if you have all of your physical needs met and everything appears to be okay on the outside, some people just internally really have like demons and they struggle. And I can totally relate to that, because even when my life is going amazingly from the outside and it seems like I'm doing so well, I do definitely have moments where I just feel like I'm having a hard time. And I feel like for her it was just so amplified. And since high school, I made a point to check in with her a couple times every year, because I always had this horrible thought in the back of my mind that this potentially would happen. Like, I mean, not that I was predicting it in any way, but I just felt like I was going to get this text message at some point, and I felt protective. I felt like I wanted to, you know, just be there for her as much as possible. Everyone is responsible for their own decisions, so I know that there's no blame towards anyone else, but I just feel like I will never, I feel like I'll never forgive myself for not like reaching out to her recently. And I even, on my little community on Patreon, I had done this kind of group challenge where I was encouraging everyone in the community to reach out to people they hadn't talked to in a while, or to reach out to people they didn't talk to on a regular basis. And just last week I thought about her, I looked through her social media, and she hadn't posted in a long time, and I made like a mental note, like, do this. And I just wish that I had something that I can't ever change, and I just need to come to terms with that. In the past couple of days, despite all of the difficult emotions, there have been a lot of positives, and I've reconnected with a lot of people from high school that I don't usually talk to, just people in our old circle of friends that, you know, we live in different places now, so we don't get to speak as much as we used to. And it's been really nice, and it's been difficult, but it's also been really gratifying to kind of reflect on those past experiences and things that we did when we were younger. And I mean, I've even like laughed thinking about moments from the past and everything, but it's definitely also been very sad and very hard. In the midst of everything, I had a video deadline for a brand which seemed so insignificant and unimportant, but instead of pushing the deadline back, I actually used my energy to like really fully engage on editing the video, which is my least favorite part of YouTube in general. Like, I put off editing and it really just drives me crazy, but it was incredibly helpful, and I feel like it was really beneficial for me because it allowed me to kind of step outside of all the emotions and just devote my attention to something kind of tedious and like monotonous or whatever. And I felt like extreme peace while I was editing. A lot of you guys have asked me if I watch my own ASMR videos to relax, and the answer to that is no. I do feel that kind of sensation from watching other people in my videos relax, but I typically don't watch my own content. But for some reason, while I was editing this video, it was just like weirdly so comforting. So despite all of this sadness, I hope that when you guys see this video, you are able to find that same sense of peace no matter what's going on in your life, especially if you are going through something similar that feels like, you know, something that you feel like you're never going to get past. I promise that you will. And I also just want to say that if you are going through something like addiction, if you're going through problems with drugs or anything similar, you absolutely can get past that. And again, I don't speak from experience, but I definitely believe that anyone can overcome those types of challenges. You know, you just have to find it within yourself to really want to, and to commit to getting clean or getting sober or doing the things that are important for yourself. And I also firmly believe in second chances, and no matter what you've done in the past, no matter what type of lifestyle you've led, if there's things that you are ashamed of or embarrassed about or you don't feel good about, you can definitely always change, and you can always turn your life around. And we have to just learn from these deeply sad events. I have such a hard time with these types of feelings. If I could choose to like suppress all of my sadness and all of my negative emotions, I absolutely would. I know that's not healthy. I know that's not the proper way to grieve, but that's just like what my brain is inclined to do, just totally like shut down and avoid dealing with the feelings. I'm trying to work on that a lot. And trying to like just really sit with my feelings and recognize that they are okay, even if they're uncomfortable. I want to end the video talking about a couple of really good and maybe funny memories about Rachel, because there were just like so many of them. One of my favorite memories, which was not so great in the moment, but in hindsight it's pretty funny. I used to spend the night with Rachel all the time, and the way that her house was set up, it was really easy to like sneak out of her house without her parents knowing, for better or for worse. And we used to do it often, and we never really did anything like bad. We would just sneak out of the house, and I feel like the excitement was in getting away with that. And then we would just kind of do like boring stuff, like go to McDonald's or something. I don't know, like go to a diner or go meet up with a couple friends, but we weren't doing anything like really crazy. But one year when we were in our junior year of high school, there was this thing at my school called Senior Week. I don't know if you guys have that, but it's basically where the entire senior class would go on a trip to the beach unattended and stay there for like a weekend without any supervision, which seems like a recipe for disaster. And I can't believe all of our parents like let us do this, but Rachel and I were friends with a lot of people in the senior class when we were juniors, so we really wanted to go to Senior Week for the class above us, but my parents said absolutely not. And so I spent the night at Rachel's house, and we drove to the beach, which was a few hours away, in the middle of the night. I mean, we drove like over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and we got to the beach, and then I like freaked out and called my mom, and I got grounded for my birthday. That was not my best move, but I don't know, we laughed about it for years, because after I wasn't grounded anymore, it was kind of funny. And then we did end up going to our own Senior Week the following year, which was pretty wild. There were just so many good memories. I've been going through all of the moments in my head and going through all of the positives, and deep down I know that I will be okay, but it does feel like something that is just going to feel painful forever. I think when you lose a friend in this type of way, you just never fully recover. It also makes you a stronger person, because you are able to get past those feelings, and you know, it makes you, I guess, just appreciate life more, which I always try to do anyways. But I think when you lose someone you really care about, you just really want to appreciate every day and every moment you have with the people you care about. I had so many people reach out to me and ask me if I was okay. And it was really great to connect with all of those people from my youth and from high school. And I also got hundreds of messages from all of you guys on Instagram, which made me feel just really cared for and really supported. And I would like to think that I am there for all of you in the same way. Even if I can't respond all the time, I am always thinking of you guys, and I really do care about you guys. I want every one of you to succeed, and I just want us to be there to support each other in this weird life that we are all living. I feel so grateful to have had such an amazing friend in high school and to have shared so many great moments. It doesn't feel completely real yet. It feels just kind of like a bad dream. And just having like voicemail or voice memos from her that I can still listen to, it's just really surreal. Somebody commented on my community post and said that they had recently lost their brother to alcoholism, and I just feel so deeply for anyone going through something like this. Just sending love into the universe to anyone who might need it today. And something that I would really like to do in 2020 is to get better about being kind to everyone. And I really try to do this, but sometimes when people approach me in a really critical way, or when people kind of like attack me, I can be defensive and I can be sarcastic and whatever. And I want to just try to understand people better and try to like put out the vibes into the world that I want to receive. It's always the goal. And yeah, tell your friends you care about them. Tell your family you love them, even if it's family that you've chosen. This feels like losing family, and it's really hard. Thank you guys so much for being there and continuing to support me, and I am okay. Nick is okay. My cats are okay. I'm just working through this part of my life.